Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I hope everyone had an absolutely awesome weekend. I did. A little bit of rain, but everything was wonderful, so that's good then. Right, so I'm here this morning with Mango Craft, and I think the most asked for dye was the lemons in the lemon bowl. So using the set of frames that I was sent, that's what we're going to be using today. And I've already cut it apart so I can run away and do some die cutting, and that is the little bowl that comes with lemons and little sprigs of greenery. Now I'm going to be using a paper pack today that's digital, and it's from Simple Stories, and it is the Vintage Berry Sweet. If you've never seen that pack before, it is absolutely stunning. I mean, you know, whether you buy it as a paper pad or whether you buy it digital, you know, I like to buy digital because I just like to keep printing off my favourite bits and pieces, and I've got it forever, so I don't have to worry about running out. But it is absolutely stunning. I think it's going to be my paper pack for the summer, actually, for you know, when I'm getting up to any kind of personal use. But it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I will link that pack below, and it is to Simple Story, so you'll just have to click under the video and go and have a spy on it. Right, I'm off to die cut, and I'll be right back. Right, so I've done some cutting, and here I am, and the base of my card is going to be craft cardstock, and the reason for that, of course, is because I'm printing on lighter weight cardstock, so I'm going to adhere that directly onto there so that I've got a nice solid card base. And that is my first sheet from that pack that I just told you about. And then I've also cut craft again, and I've also cut one of the lemon sheets from that pack because I'm figuring it out, but I want to do things at an angle on here so that I've got a little bit of craft showing through. I've also cut two elements and fussy cut them, or shall I say printed. So I've done the little jar there with the tie on it, and I've resized it so that the gingham was a different size. And I also did myself a little label and put my own happy birthday in there so that, you know, I can have that going off skewiff as well. Right, so off to the die, and I cut it twice. I cut it once in white cardstock and once in the blue cardstock behind. And if you take a good look at the little lemon bowl there, you can see how heavily embossed it is. So I actually took a craft knife and I slit mine because I wanted to tuck stuff in there. So just run your craft knife along one of the embossing sections. And I also cut it in blue so that I could cut it apart and get myself a couple of little rustic strips for making my bowl stripy. I've done the lemons. I cut those I think 3 times and done those in basil cardstock, so that's a real happy yellow colour. And my leaves I did in lime green, and I didn't like them, so I just went over them with a marker and darkened them up slightly. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to glue my blue cardstock to my brown cardstock. I'm using Dollar Tree glue. I'm going to do that and I will be right back. Okay, so my blue is now stuck to my craft, so I've got a nice chunky solid base. It's not going to warp up all over the place. And the next thing I want to do is I want to get my craft cardstock in there because I want to be able to see that peeking through. And I also want to kind of take it more over to that side, so I've got more of a blue border here. So I'm going to go with the brown and I'm going to put it there. So kind of trying to remember where I've got that. I'm just going to put my finger there, and I'm just going to go all the way around the edge. I've got my air conditioner on at the moment, which is a good thing. So I think I kind of roughly had it there. I'm going to go within my borders. So I am absolutely within my border. Right, I'm going to pop this one on, and as I said, I want it more over that side and more of a gap, so I'll glue that one on there, and then I know that I've got that done, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's exactly the kind of effect that I want, like, you know, just papers lying on top of papers, so that there's really nothing straight. But if you look at the yellow, that one is straight. So we've got a straight border all the way around that. So it's just the craft cardstock that might make it look a little bit skew-if. So the next thing that I want to do is put my lemon bowl together. So that's still drying. I'll move that to there. And I've got my little strips of paper that I cut out because it was easy to do and such a nice emboss. So that one is going to go onto there. And because it's rustic, you know, don't worry if your strips aren't straight, if you decide to do it this way, because either way, you know, if you do it perfect or not, it's still going to look good. Right, so I'm just tipping this towards myself so that I can see, because of course I've cut a slit into my bowl, and I want to make sure that I'm not covering that up. So got my little slit there. So as you can see, looking at that, you know, I didn't cut my strip absolutely perfect, but I'm absolutely okay with that. I think that looks nice. It fits within the bowl, and that is good enough for me. So I've got another couple of strips to put down. So I've got my little gap in between my blue and white stripy bowl. I do like blue and white in the kitchen. I'm going to start going off on a tangent now. And so there is the next stripe. Whoops, she says, throwing it around. I need to get off my excess glue. Hopefully you can see that. So it's not absolutely perfect, but you just got that lovely little bit of rusticness to it, and I really like that. Right, I'm going to glue my next stripe on. I'll be right back. Right, so the bowl is done and dry, and I've got a lovely little rustic little lemon bowl there. Now with my card, because I want this to come forward as an embellishment, I need to stick my jar on next, and my jar is going off the edge here. So I just need to decide how much of that I want to see, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to glue it down around about there. So I want it to come up onto the edge of my yellow, and I want it to be straight, and I'm just going to use glue. I'll stick that down. I'll be right back. Right, so the jar is stuck down, and the next thing is the happy birthday. Now I don't think I need to go all the way to the edge for this, but I do know that I kind of want it at an angle. So I'm just going to go about there, and then that can dry. So that's the base of the card. So the actual lemon bowl, I want that to be a three-dimensional element on the card, because that's the die cut and I really want it to come forward. So I kind of need to poke things in where I actually split the card. You can see that, so that I've got lemons in my bowl, and you can have them whichever way around you want. So I've kind of got two lemons there. You want them to be manoeuvred around to make it more, you know, naturalistic. Just move that little leaf out of the way. And I think I'm going to have another big one here. You see what I mean? How you can start to layer everything up. And then I'm not sure if I want one there. I don't know. But I think I may kind of like put another one there. Yeah, I think I'll have another one here actually. Right, so as you see that's how I'm going to glue it, and then we're going to come back and then we'll add our greenery. I'll be right back. Right, so I've got my lemons in my bowl, and while I was away I also put a bunch of Dollar Tree foam pads on the back. So the next thing is to decide where you want to have your greenery. So I kind of like the idea of that one there, so I'm just going to get my glue bottle and pop some glue down, and then I'm looking at it and wondering where a leaf might overlap, because that will, you know, if you put a little bit more glue there, you've got a little bit more support. So look at the shape of your lemon and just pop it down. So there's our first little piece of greenery, and then we've got another sprig here, and I'm wondering if that wouldn't look nice, kind of like drop down over the edge of the bowl. It might look totally different to how it shows on Mango Craft's AliExpress page, but that's alright. Crafting with paper is all about the imagination, isn't it? So may not be identical, but I kind of like the idea of having some green in there that's spilling over the bowl just a little bit. And then we've got two tiny little leaves, and I think I might sort of like have them hanging over the bowl in this direction. So I'm putting a blob of glue right there. I'm going to cap it off so that it doesn't go all weird on me, and then I'm just going to grab my pickup tool. Look at that, I've got my lemon bone folders still here, and we're going to arrange those leaves on there. I mean, I grow lemons, so I know citrus leaves aren't the tidiest things on the planet. They most certainly are not. So I'm going to have that one there. Right, I'm just going to let that dry for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our little bowl of lemons, and I've peeled the back off. So now it's just a matter of turning that into an embellishment, and I need to get that on straight. So here goes. I'm not going to press down yet. I need to just dip it towards myself. Yeah, and I'm happy with that. And so that is our little bowl of lemons on a birthday card. It's got a little bit of a vintage twist, but it's not, you know, heavy grungy, and it's such a beautiful paper pack. I absolutely love that. I mean, there's plenty of space up here if you want to add more lemons, you know, turn that into a little branch maybe coming off there, and then you've got them in your bowl. But I just love it. Absolutely gorgeous. So made up. Let me get my ruler. This is not according to the website, but made up so that you know how big my little project is. It is 2 7/8 of an inch, and the way that I've got them in the little bowl there with the leaves is 2 1/8 of an inch. But you know, whether that's in a little album or it's a recipe card or it's a garden journal, whatever it is you're going to do with something like that, I just think it's so pretty, really lovely. And don't forget, if you haven't got your right shades of cardstock, just get your alcohol ink markers out and use those instead. But I thank you so much for joining me today. Have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Back with more from Mango Craft tomorrow. Bye.